If you're going to ask 5 countries saying, would you mind changing the rules so that you have less power, guess what the answer is going to be? I mean, the answer, if they were wise, the answer would be something else. If they are short-sighted, the answer is what it is today.
Dr. Jaishankar, your thoughts on this? Would you say that let's reform the current system or let's build a new one altogether? And if we were to build a new one, whose ideas and values would shape this new system?
Well, I think the word broken may be too strong. I mean, it's like, the battery is discharged. I mean, it's running on very low energy. But it's also, I think, you need a different framework in a way. So you'll have to take the bits which work, and I wouldn't completely reject what we have, but obviously there's a very strong case for a very radical change. And we need a radical change because, I mean, look, it's a common sense proposition. If you take the UN, when the UN was invented, it had at least about approximately 50 members. We have 4 times the members. So it's a common sense proposition that you can't continue the same way when you have 4 times the members. We use the UN very often to illustrate that point. We've also seen, if you look at the last 5 years, all the big issues, in a way, we have not been able to find multilateral solutions. So the results are also, or the lack of results demonstrate the case for reform. But there's a larger, I think, global conversation and a global rebalancing as well, which is bigger than the UN, which is really, whose rules, how does it work? Because what has also happened is, in many cases, the rules have been gamed. We have today, we speak about globalisation, for example, and the fact is that the world trading rules have been gamed. We have a lot of our challenges today also emanate from how countries have used that for their benefit at the expense of the international system.
But in your conversations with various stakeholders, while everyone tends to agree that there is a need for reform, is there the appetite to do what needs to be done to push for that reform?
I think there's if you poll countries, I think the sentiment for change is very strong. The problem is, in many cases, the very people who are the problem are also the people whose concurrence you need to do that reform. So that's where the problem lies. So if you're going to ask 5 countries saying, would you mind changing the rules so that you have less power, guess what the answer is going to be? I mean, the answer, if they were wise, the answer would be something else. If they are short-sighted, the answer is what it is today.